Okay, so we're going to work on the example number 2, and it says here that our given is 25 grams of HF, and what we want, our unknown, is question mark moles of HF. Okay, so we're trying to figure out the moles of hydrogen fluoride. And so what we first need to determine is the molar mass of hydrogen fluoride. So you have to separate the hydrogen and the fluorine. Next, in parentheses, I would like you to tell me how many atoms there are for each element. And in this case, there's one hydrogen for every one fluorine atom. So therefore, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. The next thing that I want you to do is let's look at your periodic table, and you have hydrogen. We need to find the mass of hydrogen, which is 1.008, which we're going to round off to just 1.0. The next atom is fluorine. Let's go back to the periodic table. We want to find the mass. The mass for fluorine is 18.998, which we're going to round off to 19.0. And so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to multiply across. And 1 times 1, in this case, is 1.0 again. And 19 times 1 is 19.0. So what you're going to do to figure out the molar mass of these two is now you're just going to add 19 plus 1. And we end up with 20.0 grams of HF per moles of HF, right? Per 1 mole of HF. Now keep in mind that this will be our conversion factor, and so it will be 20 grams of HF over 1 mole of HF. So next what I would like you to do is we're going to set up our dimensional analysis, and so again our given would be 25 grams of HF, and we are going to underline we're going to set up our T-chart. And so our conversion factor that we're going to use in this case, it's going to be the same thing as we did in example number 1, is what we ended up doing was dividing by the molar mass. And here, so we're going to put on top what we want, and for this case it would be 1 mole of HF, and so what we're going to be dividing by is 20 grams of HF. Okay, so then what does mass look like? Well, the mass looks like 25 in parentheses, because our grams of hydrogen fluoride have cancelled. So we're going to be left over with 25 times 1 mole of HF. And we are going to divide this. We're going to divide this by 20 in parentheses. So our answer, when we do the math, is going to be 25 times 1, which is 25, divided by 20 is going to give us 1.25, and that'll be 1.25 moles of HF. Okay, and that is example number 2.